Hey there, E here from eEats and Healthy Treats, with day 21 of the last 40 days of summer with a new salad each day. Today's salad is Tex-Mex cauliflower steak salad, featuring cauliflower steaks in a chili marinade, red tango lettuce, red leaf lettuce, pinto beans, and cilantro with a spicy tomatillo dressing. Let's get into it. Today we're going to start with rehydrating the Guajillo and Chipotle chilies. Moving over to the stove, I have 2 cups of boiling water. I've increased this to 3 cups on the recipe as it did need a little bit more. So we'll toss those in and let them boil for about 30 minutes. Back over to the cutting board, we're going to cut the cauliflower into steaks. I've already removed all the unnecessary parts. We will be cutting this stem facing up. The stem is what will hold the steaks together, so we want our first cut to be the first ½ inch of the stem and cut straight down. It is a bit tough to cut, so do be careful. We'll come back to that first section later and move on to the next ½ inch and make another cut. There we have our first steak. Moving over another ½ inch, we'll make our next cut. Our next piece is the nicest since it is the middle of the stem. The leftover section, from the looks of it, doesn't have anything connecting to the stem, so we'll set that aside and then look at the first section. We'll make a cut on this one. We'll cut everything that's overhanging the stem. All the other leftover pieces you can use in another dish. We'll then take those steaks and set them in a shallow dish and put them to the side while we make our marinade. So once the chilies are rehydrated, we'll bring them over and place them on the cutting board. Reserve that leftover water for later, and you will have more if you use 3 cups rather than the 2 I did. So we'll start by cutting the stems off of the chilies. We'll cut the first chili in half long ways, the Chipotle chili. We'll open it up and remove the seeds. We do not want any of the seeds in the marinade because it will get cooked along with the steaks and we don't want any hard pieces hanging around. As the seeds are removed, I'll place the chilies into the blender. I'll then add 1/4 of an onion and the Mexican oregano and the cumin. One of the garlics has the skins removed, so we'll toss that in and then remove the skin on the other side and add it. Then add in the olive oil. We'll then take that over and blend it. There was more liquid needed here, so I did add the reserved chili water, a tablespoon at a time, until everything blended well together. To our cauliflower steaks, we'll add the marinade. I'll spread it around to coat them evenly. I'll go ahead and put some gloves on and we'll coat these a little bit better with that marinade. Those will set to the side once everything else is prepped. Until everything else is prepped, rather. Next, the staple of our dressing, the tomatillos, which are referred to as Mexican husk tomatoes. You may be familiar with them in salsa verde. The husk peels right off easily, and then the fruit kind of has a waxy feel on it. I'll give them a quick rinse and then place them into our dish. We'll then lightly coat them with olive oil. I did decide to add 2 more, so we'll coat those in oil as well. And add a bit of the salt. Then toss those into a 400-degree oven for about 30 minutes or until they are soft and light brown. While we wait for those to cook up, we'll prep the rest of our dressing ingredients, starting by cutting the lime in half and juicing it. I have also already diced up some fresh cilantro. Then to the blender we will add olive oil, the lime juice. I'll set this lemon drop pepper to the side for a moment while we slice up the onion. We will be caramelizing the onion to add a bit of sweetness without adding a sweetener to this dish. I'll break the onions up a bit. And set them to the side. To the garlic cloves, I'll take the side of my knife over the clove and then smack my knife with the other hand. This will break up the fibers and help to remove the skin. Then toss those into the blender. Back to the lemon drop pepper. It's a spicy pepper with a hint of lemon flavor, hence the name. So with some gloves on to keep the oils off my skin and potentially causing pain to one of my eyes later, when I forget that the oil's there, I'll cut the stems off and then slice them in half. And then we'll remove the vein and seeds. This will mitigate some of the heat, and with all the other ingredients, it will really calm down the spice level. I'll toss that half into the blender and then move on to the other side, removing the seeds and vein from it. That half I'll set to the side. I want to make sure the dressing isn't too spicy before adding in the other half. Moving over to a heated skillet, I'll add some oil and then the onions. I'll cook these until they are tender and sweet. I'll add a bit of salt to help the onions sweat, drawing out the moisture, helping them caramelize better. Now that the onions are done, I'll remove them from the skillet. I'll add a bit more oil to the skillet. And before adding our cauliflower steaks, I'll move the oil around a bit to coat the bottom of the pan. Then add in the steaks. We'll let these cook for about 4 to 6 minutes per side, flipping occasionally. Once they are somewhat tender with a fork, we'll remove them from the heat. While the steaks cool a bit, we'll finish the dressing. I've added the onions to the blender already, and we'll now add the tomatillos. We'll then blend it. I did add 2 tablespoons of oil and also a half a teaspoon of salt. This has been updated on the ingredients in the description. And after tasting it, it did need the other half of the pepper, the lemon drop pepper. It did need a bit more spice and a little more flavor. Actually, here's where I added the oil, not before. Before it was just the salt that I added. I'll give it one more quick blend. And let's plate this up. Starting with the green leaf lettuce, we'll rip that up and place it onto the plate. We'll add a bit more there. Then we'll add some of the red tango lettuce. Then place our cauliflower steak. Followed by the pinto beans, which makes me think of the Ford Pinto, so comment below if you've ever had one. Then generously sprinkle some cilantro on top. Add a lemon slice to the side. Then add the dressing. Now let's give it a taste. Oh wow, was that cauliflower steak good? Let me tell you, it was very savory. The pinto beans gave a little earthiness, and the dressing was a great match. There was a little bit of spice, just enough to know it's there, but not to have any discomfort. I truly devoured this salad. The lemon drop peppers have a really good flavor. I picked those up at a roadside market. If you can find them, please use them. If not, feel free to substitute with another spicy pepper. And don't forget to squeeze a little bit of lime juice on there. Can't help but go for another bite. I hope you give this one a try. Let me know in the comments what you think. And until later, be blessed and act in love. Enjoy!